and welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgina and I'm a certified intuitive eating counsellor with a background in physiotherapy. I'm also a recovered chronic dieter and binge eater, and my aim with this channel is to help you heal your relationship with food and your body so that you can free yourself of dieting like I did and transform your health and being able to feel free, trusting and peaceful around all foods and live the life that you deserve. So do feel welcome to click like and subscribe on this video, and then you'll be notified every time I release a new video all about health, wellness and intuitive eating. So in this week's video, I will be talking more about what to do with fear of weight gain when you've perhaps got to this stage where you've realised diets don't work and you can't face doing another one, but at the same time intuitive eating petrifies you because you don't know what's going to happen to your weight, and that fear can be really overwhelming, and it can sometimes make you decide you can't do the intuitive eating work, or you put a lot of barriers or even self-sabotage in front of you to make progress because this fear of gaining weight is so strong. So I'll be talking a bit more around suggestions on where that fear comes from and some simple steps to help you move through that fear so that you can tolerate doing this work without feeling like you're going to sort of really panic and then end up pinging back into diet mode, so that you can really get the best out of this intuitive eating work and make the progress that you'd like to be seeing and get that outcome of freedom, peace, trust and authentic health, which diets haven't given you to date, they won't give you in the future, but just getting over that hurdle of the fear of weight gain is absolutely key to address so that you can peacefully move through the intuitive eating framework and stick with it. So I think firstly, to speak to the fear of weight gain when you've stopped dieting is absolutely normal and understandable. Because of the world we currently live in, the society we're in just does not accept any shape or size body that isn't thin. Ultimately, it's everywhere you go, it's in social media, it's in healthcare systems, it's just everywhere. So there is no wonder that you are frightened about weight gain, because you've spent years, decades or longer trying to lose weight, constantly trying to lose weight through dieting and being told that, you know, thin is better, thin is healthier. And ultimately, in the world we live in, being thin creates a sense of safety, the safety of being accepted, of fitting in, and to move away from that can really feel very, very overwhelming, and all of that is completely normal. So first of all, validating that is really important. It is okay that you feel that way. What we do need to recognise, however, is the harm that dieting causes when we are pursuing this thin body ideal through the dieting industry. It really causes so much harm. So the consequences of dieting are profound. First of all, it's unsuccessful because 95% of people cannot sustain the weight that they've lost within the first 2 to 5 years. And so that in itself is already setting you up to fail. And it's not your fault. It's nothing to do with willpower. It's just that restricting your food intake is just not successful. Bodies don't like to be fueled in that way. And so there's the first obvious thing to acknowledge when you are worried about gaining weight, is look at your past of what happened when you went on diets and how long did you maintain any weight that was lost. The likelihood is you'll find at best it was a couple of years, but research shows that the more diets you do, the lower the threshold for the tolerance of them. So you may find you end up where you've got just a few months of sustained weight loss, and then in some cases a few weeks. The other challenge is that generally you end up gaining more weight than you've lost with each diet, because you've got the sort of boomerang effect of restriction, which usually then leads to disordered eating in the form of overeating, binge eating, and sometimes it can even escalate to a fully blown active eating disorder. So as you can see already, when we've got this fear of weight gain, much though we have to acknowledge it's understandable, we also need to be really honest with ourselves and just sort of look realistically at what outcomes dieting causes to us and what the cost is, that when we're really honest with ourselves is really destructive and really harmful. So the other sort of issues to make reference to when we're pursuing dieting, we're fearing weight gain and we're thinking of dieting, is the effect it has on our mental health. So, the stress of maintaining whatever diet we've been on, and the consequence of how that affects our social lives and our social interaction, again, can be really profound. Constantly worrying about what we're eating, obsessing over food, all of these things have got such a heavy price to pay for the pursuit of wanting to be in a thinner body. And then the final point to mention when we're fearing weight gain is sometimes that can come from a belief that we'll be healthier in a thinner body, when in actual fact there's a lot of research and data to show that that simply isn't the case either. Although higher weights can be in some cases associated with an increased risk of certain health conditions, there is no condition that's directly caused by your body shape and size, and so we have to be mindful that we're not getting pulled into a trap of what's known as healthism, where we sort of fear that we're one bite away from a heart attack, or we're one bite away from, some other disease where we could potentially prevent it if only we were in a thinner body. Statistics show that only 15% of your nutrition and movement choices affect your likelihood of developing various different health conditions, and that's known as societal factors. So there's other things that are much more likely to influence your overall health. Some examples are genetics, age, culture, society, access to healthcare, sanitation, and then lifestyle choices such as a basic example of whether you wear your seatbelt or not when you go out in your car, how stressed you get and how that affects your health. So much though eating well is great to make you feel physically well, to nourish your body, to give you energy, and to support your health, your diet choices don't exclusively prevent development of disease 100%. That's just simply not true. What's really important is to start focusing on the way you want to feel rather than the way you want to look, or putting your values on an external goal such as weight. It's far more supportive for your health to actually start thinking about it in terms of physical, emotional, psychological and spiritual health. So we're looking at health promoting behaviours being what constitutes the ultimate goal, rather than just the one aspect which dieting focuses on, which is physical health. So I hope that helps. I appreciate this is a massive area to talk around, and I'm really just giving you just a little bit of insight here into a sort of overview of how we can address our fears in just a brief sort of summary, so that when you are having those panicky thoughts, you've got something tangible to actually lean into and reframe those thoughts that you're having. It's possible to be healthy in many different shaped and sized bodies. It's just that dieting's distorted our version of what health is, and so your job with an open mind is to start to cultivate change by learning new information so that you can let go of your old beliefs and replace them with more meaningful, truthful and relevant information. And this again is the key to you feeling more free, more trusting, more peaceful around food. When you let go of the fear of weight gain and you concentrate on acting in ways that promote all these different aspects of health, that is what helps you to feel the way you want to feel consistently. That is what helps to heal overeating patterns, binge eating patterns, and help you crave a greater variety of foods that truly do nourish you in mind, body and soul. Once you start to incorporate those behaviours, your body will settle wherever it's naturally meant to be based on its own genetics. And again, that doesn't have to be a thin body. So once we can start to accept that, that's where we can begin to make those changes and commit to doing this intuitive eating work and not let this fear totally overwhelm us to the point where we go back onto a diet because we're just so afraid and we just can't tolerate the feelings that we're in of the suffering and the shame that comes from a dieting mindset. So I hope that helps. If you're looking for more support with this work, please do feel welcome to click the link in the description below. You can apply for one-to-one coaching with me and group coaching, just depending on your preferences, and I'd be delighted to support you further with this work. It is easier to do it with somebody that's been exactly where you are but is a few steps further on with the healing process like I am. And just to let you know again, you're not alone, and all your feelings are completely valid, but they are feelings that are possible to change. So don't forget that all of these things can be changed. It's just knowing how to do the change and where to start. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.